Son Rouhani has today given a press conference marking the start of his third year in office, and at which his country's nuclear deal with the international community was very much the focus. The deal, which will see sanctions against Iran lifted in exchange for curbs on the nuclear program, has yet to be implemented, though. Well, for more on that press conference, we can speak now to political analyst Milad Jokar. Thanks for joining us, Milad. Does Rouhani look and sound like a president who's in a stronger position domestically as a result of that deal?
Well, and that was also the goal of this press conference. Well, the bottom line of his press conference was twofold. First of all, he wanted to maintain national unity, insisting on the fact that the nuclear crisis or the nuclear deal is not it is a national issue. It is not a partisan issue. So that's a very important point, especially when he knows that there are parliamentary elections in February 2016. So he keeps this in mind in order to have this national unity. And remember, Rouhani was elected in 2013 with 51% of the votes at the first round. So he has a massive support of the population. So what he wants to do right now is to transfer this massive support politically, to have another representation in parliament. And for this, he has encouraged people to vote massively, to have healthy elections, and to have more competition. And number two, he wants to maintain the political consensus because he has to sell this deal back home when people are opposed to this deal. And Rouhani is a centrist. He's at the center of the political spectrum in Iran. So as such, he has this capacity, this ability to carry the huge political gain of the nuclear deal on his shoulders. And that's why he needs this consensus to move on with his political, social, and economic reforms.
Yeah, you mentioned some domestic opposition to that deal. Do you get any sense that any group could try to block or delay it, for example, by calling for a vote to make it have to pass through the Iranian parliament, just as a delay mechanism, or indeed as a way of stopping it altogether?
Well, actually, a journalist from a conservative newspaper, Kayhan, asked the president this question, asking why the parliament has nothing to say on this deal. And the president answered him directly that, well, nothing has been signed between Iran and the P5+1. It is an agreement. So Iran, he said, we have agreed to go on with this deal. And because it is an agreement and not an international treaty, then Parliament doesn't have to ratify anything. So it is also a way to make things easier for the government of Hassan Rouhani to get things done on this nuclear deal.
Some of the other things he talked about at that press conference was, of course, the continued house arrest of reformist political leaders. He was asked specifically about them. Do you think he's in a difficult position, isn't he? Because he would probably like to release them tomorrow if he had the ability to sign off on that. But there are people and powers above him that just don't seem to want that to happen right away.
Absolutely. Well, but first of all, it is noticeable to say that it's the first time that this question is asked publicly in Iran. So, and President Rouhani answered that question saying basically that it is not in his hands, but he knows what's going on and he's trying his best. That was mainly his answer. So the house arrest of Mir Hossein Mousavi and Mehdi Karoubi, the leaders of the opposition in 2009, is an important topic in Iran. It has been addressed during Rouhani's presidential election. And what he's saying is that it is not really in his hand. It is more the judiciary that deals with this. But he made sure to say that he knows what's going on and he's sort of trying to do things, although it is very difficult because of the opposition, because it is a sensitive topic in Iran. And especially for the next election in 2016, it's kind of difficult to mention this issue so far. So we still have to be, unfortunately, patient to see on this issue.
Okay, thank you so much, political analyst Milad Jokar there. Thank you for speaking to France 24. And that brings us up to date with all the world.